Hey, what's going on? This is Ministry Gold. This is episode 2 of Meet Your Maker. I interviewed RZRider, who made the Torture Souls hacks. Right now, that is Torture Souls 1, 2, and 3. 3 is currently in a demo state, uh, but you can trust he's working on it, and it'll be ready when it's ready. From interviewing RZRider, what I learned about him, the vibe that I got from him, is that it's extremely important to him to create something that like has not already existed before. Um, and that's not to say that like all of his hacks are gonna necessarily be completely unique. I don't think you can expect that from anybody, but it's really important to him to like give you something new, not just something you'll enjoy, but like something like different. I think that's great from a creator perspective, and it's great from a player perspective. It's great from the creator perspective because that means he's really pushing himself to stay innovative. But then it's great from the player perspective because it's fun to see new things. Unless you're one of the few people who do not like seeing new things, then, you know, I guess it's not for you. But yeah, so like for example, in Torture Souls 1, I loved how he had like the this like automatically moving like Yoshi, but it's not an auto scroller. It automatically moves like left or right. So I thought that was something really cool about Torture Souls 1. Torture Souls 2, it has this really unique like thing where you can upgrade your health or your attack. So it's kind of like an RPG or like Souls-like aspect of the game. Like that's really unique. Now, it's not like, something you necessarily see in platformers all the time, but I like the novelty of it. Just I've never seen something like that before, so it's really cool. And also, something that comes across with RZRider is like he can't help but just like make levels. Like when he makes levels, he just gets carried away and makes more than he means to. And it's funny, but it's also cool because it means that he's like really creative and he has a lot of ideas he has to get out. And I think that's really cool and important in a creator. It's really valuable in a creator. So, but yeah, in like overall, I think you're gonna really enjoy this interview. You learn a lot about Torture Souls, the creativity and the depth behind Torture Souls 1 and 2. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the interview. And also before we move on, I want to say something about me as far as what I'm trying to do with these interviews. So I did do something better with with this interview than I did with the last interview. I've done a lot of interviews in the past, not necessarily just for Kaizo. And something that I saw myself doing with those interviews was asking everybody the same exact questions. And so I'm trying not to do this for this interview. I want to make sure that I'm not just asking the same questions. Otherwise, I might as well just play a recording of me asking the questions. And then, yeah, that's just a boring interview. And so, what I really tried to do here was to ask questions that were actually like specific and unique to RZRider and the Torture Souls hacks. And so I hope you see that, and I hope you appreciate all the additional footage I'm using. And to be clear, a lot of this footage that I'm using, gameplay footage, is not mine. I'm either using it from Barbarous King or drkrdnk. Barbarous King is like, if he's not the biggest, he's at least definitely one of the biggest Kaizo streamers on Twitch and on, well, also, you know, Kaizo creators on YouTube. Um, Although he also does like a lot of variety lately. And then there's also drkrdnk, who's also a very well known Kaizo streamer and YouTuber. And yeah, whenever I use their footage, you'll see me say like on screen credit Barber's King or credit drkrdnk. And yeah, the reason why I do this is because I will not necessarily play every hack, not because I don't want to, but just because my time is limited and I just haven't played the hack yet. And so in those cases, I will be using footage from other creators or streamers. If you don't see me say credit to such and such, then that means it's because I was able to play um, those parts of the hacks. In this case, I played some of Torture Souls, but I haven't finished it because I had like emulator issues. But I will come back to that hack at another point. But anyway, yeah, I hope you appreciate all there is to learn about Torture Souls and RZRider, and I hope you appreciate the additional effort I'm putting in to make these episodes better and meaningful and useful. And thank you for watching. Okay, so today I'm interviewing RZRider. RZRider made the Kaizo ROM hacks Torture Souls 1 and 2. There's also a Torture Souls 3, which you can download a demo for. Um, but yeah, we're just going to talk to him about how he got started with Kaizo, what inspired him to make the hacks, as well as a lot of specific things in those hacks. And yeah, I hope you all find this interview useful, entertaining, and I hope RZRider does as well. So yeah, RZRider, thanks for joining me in this interview.
No problem. Really appreciate you having me here.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so how did you first get started with Kaizo?
So originally I was a Ryucar Mario Maker watcher,
Oh,
which
okay.
is so silly to say now, but I saw a video of him playing Dram
Mm-hmm.
and Grand Poo World, not Grand Poo World, Grand Poo Bear
Mm-hmm.
was featured in that video, and that's how I got a bit more into the ROM hacking scene.
Mm-hmm.
And when Grand Poo World 2 came out, that was the tipping point, I'd say. That's when I really started to be like, okay, this stuff is really cool. I'd
Right.
like to actually play these.
Okay. And that probably explains why there's probably like some GPW inspiration in the I don't know if it's in both. I don't know if you'd say you have GPW inspiration in both Torture Souls hacks. Would you say that's fair or
I'd say one definitely leaned harder
okay.
into it. And in not Grand Poo World 2, Jesus. In Tortured Souls 2, I
Mm-hmm.
started to find my own creative voice, I'd say.
Okay, nice. And earlier, you were saying that when you were talking about Ryukar, you're saying it's silly to uh, say that now that you were.
I
Um,
just don't watch his content anymore. There's no
ah,
shade there or anything. It's
okay,
just
gotcha.
humble beginnings kind of deal. No
Hmm.
shade or anything like that.
Um, and so how long did you play Kaizo till you started making your own hacks or trying to work on your own hacks?
That's a funny question.
Mm,
So I play quite a bit of Kaizo.
mm-hmm,
I'd been playing maybe even for a year before I started Tortured Souls, but before
okay.
that, I had another hack that ended up being scrapped.
Mm-hmm,
Um, I kind of always was in it for the creative aspect
mm-hmm,
rather than like, oh, the brutal challenge of Kaizo. That wasn't really
mm-hmm.
my main drive.
Yeah.
Um, but I still to this day have not beaten a hack I did not make. I've played plenty, but never fully completed a hack. So that's why it's kind of a interesting question when you're asked like, "Hey, when did you start playing? What
Mm-hmm,
hacks have you been?" It's like,
mm-hmm,
nah. I mean, I'm not a bad player. I wouldn't hope to say,
mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm.
it's just not what I got into it for.
Sure. Yeah. And the hack that you did end up finishing, can I ask why you ended up not finishing it?
Uh, so it wasn't really. This is a story of like bad backups.
Mm,
It's
okay.
not anything interesting. It just I lost the files and was
Oh, I
like,
see.
well, I'm
Okay.
gonna start fresh.
That sucks.
Yeah, but it was nothing special anyway. Just a little starter hack.
Hmm. And I want to tell you that when I was playing Torture Souls, I was really enjoying it. Um, I was just having like a an issue with it with like my emulators, and so I'll have to come back to it again later. So I just ended up watching Barbarous King's playthrough of Torture Souls 1 and then drkrdnk's playthrough of Torture Souls 2. um, and I want you to know that when I was considering playing Tortured Souls, I want you to know that title is very intimidating.
Yep, I'm aware.
Yeah,
I am very aware now.
yeah, because like so first of all, like and maybe this is on purpose, but the first thing that I think of when I think of Tortured Souls is Dark Souls. Um, and then also, if anything, your name is more intimidating because it has torture in it. So and so, and, you know, I feel like I also see it in Torture Souls 1 and 2. You must have some inspiration from Dark Souls, yeah?
Torture Souls 2 for sure.
Okay.
I had never played any of the Souls likes or Soulsborne games until uh, Tortured Souls 1 had been well released.
I see. Okay.
And I started playing Elden Ring,
Mm-hmm.
which is a Soulsborne title for those that for some reason don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how you couldn't know at this point. But I started playing Elden Ring right in the middle of Tortured Souls 2's development.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it really, really impacted me. It was like, okay, I love these games.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
I went on to play Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 1. Well, not
Mm-hmm.
Dark Souls 2, but that's for other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I really love those games. And they definitely, in Torture Souls 3, I'd say they have almost a bigger impact um, in my
Oh, okay. You lean more into it in Torture Souls 3.
yes. I'd
Uh,
say I'd say I do, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Um, so I wanna talk about something specifically about Torture Souls. Things that people really like about Torture Souls 1, which is and it actually might also be true about Torture Souls 2, which is you've got some pretty short levels, which I think we'd rather have short levels than like long levels. Um, both games I feel like have like lore, but probably more so
Thousands of
in
warriors have
like
fallen.
Torture Souls
How
2.
many more will it take to save their
Um,
souls?
and then something else I thought was
I
really
think with that,
interesting with Torture Souls 1 is having multiple paths. Like something that stuck out in my mind is there's one point where you can take two
the
pipes,
choice.
death
What's
by
up, Legend? How are
nature
you?
or death by
What we got?
water, and
Death
I thought it was
by
really cool that
nature,
you give us the choice to go one way or
death
the
by
other.
water.
And actually, there's even like another spot where you give us like multiple paths to take. So I think that's really cool.
So
Um,
that was a big goal I've always that's something I've really enjoyed
mhm,
in when I see it in games, and I
mhm.
don't feel like I see it as often as I would like.
No, yeah, I don't either.
That's just a personal preference thing, is that I really enjoy having a choice or some sort of freedom in where I go.
Mm-hmm,
Um, it's funny that you mentioned the choice in Tortured Souls 1,
mm-hmm,
because that one's probably the most obvious.
mm-hmm.
But in Tortured Souls 2, after you get past one of the sub
Yeah, I
maps,
thought the
there's
two
a
options
blue
were
pipe and a green
trial
pipe
and
that's
dose
on the
or
overworld.
total
That's a
time.
reference to that.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
guess
Okay.
this one doesn't look.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if anyone got picked up on that, but I thought
I
that was
definitely
a
did
little
not.
homage.
Um, and also something else you do that I wouldn't have known if I didn't watch someone else's playthrough is you also have some puzzles and well I don't know how many puzzles you have in Torture Souls 1 but basically I think to get spoiler for anybody who hasn't played Torture Souls 1 or 2 but you have a puzzle in Torture Souls 1 that I think is required to get to the actual like final boss of fighting Satan. Is that right?
Yep. Um, that was something that I probably wouldn't do again.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
um, I just it was kind of one of those things that the puzzle wasn't exactly a puzzle. It was more of a what's the word I'm looking for? It was like a world building more than it was a puzzle to me.
Oh, I see. Okay. It wasn't meant to be like a puzzle.
No, I wouldn't even consider it a puzzle,
Okay,
just because
okay.
go through a pipe and you're done.
Yeah, it's pretty
It was
simple. That's true. Yeah.
it was very much a tacked on sort of, are you paying attention? Do you know what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of deal. Which
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I have a lot of things I'd change in Tortured Souls 1 particular in particular. Um that's probably one of them.
Okay. On that topic, what are some other things you would think of that you would have changed in retrospect?
The final boss. That
The
final boss
ruler
is just
of
trash
hell,
and I never want to
Lucifer.
see it again.
Oh, really? Why is that? What's wrong with that, do you think?
uh so I don't know if you could tell. I did the graphics myself.
Yeah, I just
Yeah, I'm not much of an artist,
okay,
but
okay, yeah.
I did I think the attacks are fairly annoying
Okay.
and there's no telegraphing for them,
I see. I
obviously.
see. Okay.
What the
So
fuck?
in furthermore, it really is just a wait for the blocks and then throw the block. Like there's not much
Mm-hmm.
to that fight. And that was partly because I didn't know how to code very well at the time.
I see.
So
Okay.
it was definitely a thing I wanted, but couldn't quite get to where
All right. Reminds you of
couldn't
reminds you of
quite get to
Cuphead.
what I wanted because of my
Mom says I
own
can't
skill.
watch
I see.
anymore.
Okay. And so Torture Souls 2 will be more refined as a result.
Uh, I I think it had the final boss in that has some jank,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's overall much more polished
God.
and better.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely harder, but that's kind of neither here nor there in my opinion.
And something else that I wanted to ask you was, how did you learn how to make Kaizo hacks? Was it through like YouTube videos, SMW tutorials, or like talking to other people?
Um, I really just learned from doing.
Oh, okay.
I watched Barb's old uh, YouTube tutorial that he made for ages ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I really just learned by messing around in the editor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I learned ASM by just looking at people's comments inside their own code, looking at there's a resource that people don't really talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But on SMW Central, there's the ROM and the RAM memory maps,
Mm-hmm.
and those are a godsend if you're
Oh,
into
really?
ASM at all, as well as the actual disassembly of SMW, but that can get a bit, a bit much at times for people who are just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but those things really just give you an idea of what all these numbers mean.
I see. Uh, so can you give us an example of like something you would look up in what you said, the was it the raw memory
RAM
map?
and ROM memory,
Okay.
just the memory
Mm-hmm.
on SMW Central.
Mm-hmm.
So like I know this value by heart now because I've used it so much, but
Mm-hmm.
14 AF, that's just a on off value. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
just is this block on? Is it off?
I see. Okay.
Like what the state of that is. And
Mm-hmm.
that sounds so foreign if you just see 14 AF. What the hell does that mean, But when you actually just plug in your brain, oh, it's on off. That
Mm-hmm.
works for me because it's not a number anymore, it has a meaning.
Right, right. And so, do each of the individual numbers and letters have their own meaning, or were they just like arbitrarily set?
I mean, they don't have inherent meaning, but uh
I don't know if
most
you could break it down to like units or something, or is it just like they picked a number and a letter and gave it a meaning?
it I don't really know.
Okay,
It
okay.
basically just is where you'd have variables in modern code, it's numbers.
I see. Okay, okay.
But pretty boring stuff to most people, but I find it interesting.
It's cool to hear about though, like, because yeah, I didn't know that that's how it was represented.
Yeah.
Um, and oh yeah, something else, a pattern I noticed for Torture Souls 1 and 2 is it feels like you really like your end of level trolls. Um, is that accurate?
Less than I used
Oh,
to,
less
but
than you
yes.
used to? Okay, okay.
Oh,
Less
that's
than I used to,
rude.
but I definitely do enjoy them.
Um, did you just get less interested or like more bored of them or like why did you do less of them, I guess?
Probably because my levels as I've gotten better as a creator, and more importantly, as I've gotten better as a player,
Mm-hmm.
they've generally gone harder.
Mm-hmm.
And I love a good troll, but if you spend an hour on a level, I don't want to slap you in the face afterwards and tell you to do it again. That
That's
feels mean-spirited rather
yeah.
than funny.
That's good. I appreciate that actually.
So I've definitely leaned less on that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do trolls, they are in shorter section, easier levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as other inspirations in Torture Souls 1, I feel like what I noticed, I probably missed some other inspirations, but what I definitely noticed was I feel like I saw some Invictus in some of these like swimming levels.
Yep, that's
Um,
definitely true. Yep.
and then yeah, there's definitely like I feel like there's definitely like a level with like Casio water. Um,
So that one's interesting because I'd never played Casio at that point.
okay. Mm-hmm.
And I remember looking at Lexapro and thinking, man, I do not want to play that. This looks tight and just not it. What I remember thinking is it looks slow. More than anything
Mm-hmm.
else, I thought this looks horrendously slow.
Mm-hmm.
And I really tried to say, hey, this gimmick can be fast. And I don't think I did the best job at that, but it was something I tried to do at that point.
Yeah.
Um, kind of made it because I wanted to show that this gimmick can be fun more than anything else.
Okay. Yeah. And what other if I missed any hacks, what other hacks do you think inspired uh some of the levels in Torture Souls 1?
Uh Shoot, it's been so long. Grand Pool 2 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, all of them. I watched too much Lunar Magic when I was building that hack, and it definitely seeped of Barb's Lunar Magic streams when I was watching that.
Okay. Yeah.
I was making that hack, and it definitely seeped in a bit too much for my liking now. Um, what else? Invictus, like you said, Storks, actually.
Oh,
The
okay.
final one of the bosses in Storks was it?
Oh, was it Thwomp King?
What the fuck?
No.
No, okay.
The boss, the final boss, Lucifer, where he has
Oh,
that rain thwomp
yeah.
attack,
Oh, yes. Okay.
that was very much Stork's inspiration.
I
Very,
see.
very.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I have to admit that I'm not good with lore,
Yep.
but the
Most Kaizo players aren't.
but the things that I remember about Torture Souls
Wrath.
1 is that there are sins, and then okay,
Fuck.
spoiler, Mario
Coffee.
defeats Satan and becomes ruler of hell.
Yep.
And then afterwards,
Yeedst.
I believe if you
Glani.
I don't remember exactly how you do this. I think you have to come in as just like second
With
player.
the
You'll
Reese?
find out that there's essentially a teaser for Torture Souls 2, and basically implying that Luigi
After
would be
Mario's
the true
mysterious
hero.
Yes.
disappearance. Is that spelled right? Disappearance?
Oh boy.
A
A
broke
lot of that
and
was very
concerned
scrambled together
Luigi
at the last
begins
minute.
a
Whole
Oh,
lot of it.
for his
Looking at the
missing
wall,
brother.
yeah.
seeing if it would
There's rumors
stick,
going
Yeah.
around
and
about
it
a
did.
strange
I do
mansion.
think it stuck.
Luigi
Mhm.
sets
Quite a
off
lot of
toward
it
the mansion
actually.
in hopes of finding his
People care
brother.
about him way more than I
If
did
nothing
at this
else,
point.
it'll
So.
at least be a place to stay.
And for
To
this
be
idea of
continued.
like the sins,
Is this
like
is he leading into his
why did you
next
end up
hack?
using
Is that
those ideas for the lore?
I think it was just a cool aesthetic
Okay.
thing. Like I really like Dante's Inferno and all of these sort of darker ideas, and I thought it was cool to bring that into a game. Like period. I
Okay.
didn't really think, oh, I'm gonna make Mario edgy. I just like how these things look.
Yeah, yeah.
In my opinion, like I didn't really want to make a hack. I wanted to make a game, but I didn't have the ability to make a game. Still don't, frankly.
Is that something you want to do eventually? Is make like a game, like a non Kaizo, I guess, game?
That'd be enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something I'm interested in, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm slowly working towards becoming a reality. But
Nice.
uh, it's hard. I mean, working in Godot or Unity or
Right. Yeah.
Unreal is
Mm-hmm.
so much harder. Just not different. No, nothing like that. It's just harder than working in Lunar Magic
Hmm.
for me.
At least for your case, why do you find it more difficult?
Because the skill floor of Lunar Magic is so low.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to be very tech savvy or knowledgeable to work in Lunar Magic. The skill floor for a game engine is very high,
Mm-hmm.
and at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And the skill ceiling in both of those is incredibly high, but the floor is just so much higher in a real game engine than it is in Lunar Magic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because you don't have these pre-built assets that Nintendo
Right. Yeah.
made.
Also, I wanted to talk about some of the mechanics and the bosses in Torture Souls 1.
Yep.
Okay, so I thought the homing bullet bill spotlight
It's
thing,
teams.
like that's really cool
My
to me.
team versus your team.
I don't think I've seen that before. And
The fuck is this?
I don't know what you got this from, but it just gave me like Metal Gear Solid
So
vibes.
it's like a spotlight, and if you go into the spotlight, it,
If
like,
I remember right, that was
chases
from like
you.
a Rayman game.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, I can see the Metal Gear
And it
Solid
explodes.
now, but I remember there was like
Ah!
there was that level, and
Mhm.
I remember I don't know, it was a while ago at this point, but I
Mhm.
remember something in a Rayman game that made me think of that
I
idea.
see.
Ah!
Okay. Something else I really enjoyed is okay. Now you're not the first hack necessarily to like do this, but I love portals.
Yep.
Like I don't know, it just kind of like breaks my brain, and I kind of enjoy that. Um, Especially like the second half. I don't remember the name of the level, but the second half of that level where you have the portals looping into each other. Um, I thought that was really sick.
Okay. Yes.
That level was actually one of my least favorite levels looking back,
Oh,
and
really?
that's
Hmm.
because aesthetically it just looks like kind of garbage.
I see. Okay.
Um, the gameplay's fun. I do like that level, what it is, but I
Hmm.
feel like it could have been a lot more.
Yeah.
And in Tortured Souls 2, there is a level with portals of some sort
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is what I wish that looked like.
I see. I see. Do you mean the portals? There's like a fire flower portal. Is it like that
Yep.
one? Okay.
How are we doing
That one.
for
Yep.
rings of hell?
Um, okay, something okay, first of all, when I say this, I don't mean anything personal when I say this. before I before I start talking.
Okay.
I hate the leaves. I hate the
Oh,
leaves.
everyone does. Everyone does. Even creators.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay, from a creator's perspective,
you
why
know
don't you like it?
I never said I don't like it.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
like
but
when
other
other
creators, okay, I see.
when other people do it, I don't like it. But when
Okay.
I do it,
Not
it's
too
fun.
far off.
It's fun.
Yeah, I just
yeah,
I don't know.
is
It kind of reminds me of like trying to
$160
land a jump on a like a para
one ticket.
galumba.
Yep.
And you think you're gonna
Um,
land it, but then it just like it feels like it just moves out of the way, or you like slip off of it or something.
Yeah. I definitely understand that because
I just love going
I
to
recently
video game
played
concerts.
Hagakure or something in Grand Prix World 3. I don't
Mhm.
remember the name exactly,
Okay.
but it's a leaf level and it kicked my teeth in. So I know how you feel.
Yeah, and you know the leaves weren't bad enough, but then now in Torture Souls 2, you have leaves, not just leaves, but they're also being shifted to the left by the wind.
Okay, that level's sick. I'm sorry. That level's so cool.
Okay.
I love that level.
I mean, the shifting's cool, but just I haven't played the level yet, but I know that if I do, that's going to be like another level of like what the hell for me.
Yep, it's weird. It's weird. That was a level I didn't really that was a remember this
Mm-hmm.
thematic sort of level. Like in Grand Prix 3,
and then-
Barb did Bonsai Barrage and all those rehashings, and I kind of thought that was a cool concept and wanted to try my own hand at that with something I had done before.
Oh, something that you did that was really sneaky, by the way, with Yggdrasil was I had a really hard time trying to find the secret for that level.
Yep.
So I kept trying to go back from the pipe to figure out where it was, but then it wasn't until I waited at the pipe to go to the checkpoint that the leaves started falling.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a
Okay,
that was a
so we're
sneaky
going up.
like path to
That one
the
got a
secret
few
exit.
people. That one got a few people for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Cool.
And then yeah, I really enjoyed there's this like non-stop Yoshi level. I really enjoyed that one. I think just because like I don't know. I like when I'm being forced to
anyone else
keep
got
on
plans
going,
for the
and
weekend?
like I like being able
Guys
to
not
wait
going to a
too. But I don't know. I like
convention,
something about the
tomorrow?
speed of that level.
Dressing up? Should probably
Thank
try
you
it out
for
today.
one.
Mhm.
I was
'Cause the one
worried when
thing
I
that I
first
didn't
made that
wear
level because I
in my
thought
Iris
people would
cosplay
hate
that I was
it,
supposed
Yeah.
but
to,
I really enjoyed that
because
level.
I didn't
That's
know how
probably
to
one
like
of my
put it on in a
favorites,
fast
even
way, so I
looking
skipped
back,
it.
Nice.
is that Yoshi level.
Um. Also,
Yes.
correct.
Yes,
I
let's
might be
go.
misremembering something, but do you have like a Mega Man style like final gauntlet of bosses in?
Oh, pardon me, what'd you say?
Do you in Torture Souls 1? Do you have like a Mega Man style like final gauntlet of bosses or something in that or no? I'm trying to remember if you do.
I don't think so.
No. Okay. I might
I
have.
do have something like that in Tortured Souls 2,
Okay.
but
Mhm.
not Tortured Souls 1, I
Okay.
don't think.
King
Also, I thought the rising flame
Okay,
effect,
so
I
it's like
think
a
it's in the
layer
final
2 thing.
level, looks really cool for Torture Souls 1. I think that's for the
Yeah,
final level and for the final boss, yeah.
yep. Um, I like how that looks.
Hmm.
The hitbox is terribly jank in that, and that's probably the low point for most people playing that
Mm.
hack, I'd say.
Yeah, I will say that, like, just looking at it,
Ah!
I couldn't tell, like, when you jump, like, where you're actually safe, because I think the hitbox is actually lower than, like, the tip of the flame, right?
It's lower and it's not active until the flame is entirely to the peak of what it can reach.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, and that was made partially because I didn't know how to code very well at the time, and partially because it was the only way I could make something with my limitations,
Hmm.
coding wise, that looked like that, and that was a mistake.
Hmm.
I should have done something else for the final section and final boss. Should have been something else,
I
but
see.
I don't know what it would have been.
Mhm.
So
Um,
ultimately, you can look back and say, should have done this, should have done that,
right.
but it's out there now. So
It is what it is, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so that's basically Torture Souls 1. Let's talk about Torture Souls 2. Oh wait, sorry. Not yet. Okay, there's still some things I want to talk about for Torture Souls 1. I didn't talk about too much about the bosses yet. Okay, Swamp King.
The size of this thing
I
is
thought Swamp King was
crazy.
really cool. It is a very freaking big thwomp.
Yep.
And yeah, I think it was a good touch to also add the explosion on impact as well, because I think just having the to avoid the thwomp would be relatively easy. So I do think it was good to add that explosion as well.
Well, thank you. That
Let's
that was
go.
another decision that I made later on. I wouldn't say it was last minute, but that was definitely like this needs more.
Okay.
And I think it was a good decision. I
Yeah.
mean, people still one shot that boss.
Mhm.
It's pretty fair, I'd say. So I think it was a good decision to add that as
Mhm.
well. But thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
for sure. And so Kamek the Blinded, that fight was really fun. Just it felt very active.
That was made by Bucket of Wet Bees.
Oh,
On
okay,
Warrior
nice.
Quest. I did not make that boss, but that was done by someone who also makes really cool stuff.
Okay,
and
cool.
you
Yeah,
can totally have to.
still a really fun boss. Yeah, so, like I don't know. I just compare it to maybe I haven't played enough like Kameks and hacks, but when I think of Kamek, the first boss that I think of is in Invictus, and
Yep.
uh, when I'm comparing the two bosses, I do like this one more than Invictus because
There we
Invictus just
go.
feels like a survival boss, where this is actually like you're going blow for blow with another boss.
So I haven't played the final boss of Invictus,
Oh, okay.
considering that I have never been a hack, as we've mentioned. But I remember seeing it and thinking it was really cool, and also thinking I want to do something entirely different if I'm going to use this character.
Right.
I don't want it to be compared,
That's
and I
fair.
think
Yeah, that makes sense.
that them being so different helps with that a bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, also something that I feel like gave your bosses more like gravity is it's really simple. It's not the bosses themselves, but it's the bold boss titles actually.
The size of this thing is crazy.
I feel like that just adds more weight and importance to the bosses for me.
That I don't. That was a last minute addition, and I
Okay.
think I had played Elden Ring by that point.
I see. Okay.
So that was like, okay, these are main key points in the hack. So I should have the actual thing you're fighting have some importance, and I am glad that was noticed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Okay. So last thing I'm gonna say with Torture Souls 1 is I do think Satan looks kind of funny.
What?
Yep.
Just because the vibe I get when I see Satan in Torture Souls 1 is just he's kind of just like blankly staring at you and blinking.
Yep.
And the boss fight itself is epic, it's intense, but I just thought Satan himself is just funny to look at.
Yep. That's yeah, that's very accurate, I would say.
Yeah.
That again, if I would change one thing about the hack, it's the boss.
Now, transitioning over to Torture Souls 2, I do think you have like I'm kind of skipping around with Torture Souls 2, but I'm gonna jump right to the not the final boss, but the boss before that.
Yep.
That boss looks badass. Like the skull head with the two hands. I think that thing was really cool, actually.
Yep. I did not draw that one, if you can believe it. But that was a sprite from the Binding of Isaac that I ripped.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's supposed to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Like Mario had killed Satan, here's his corpse. That was the lore behind that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And actually in that level, you also fight a homing thwomp boss that's smaller, but
Yeah, I saw
still
that.
comparable, and
Yeah.
a Kamek sprite. So it's supposed to be like going through all the the level's called the Old God's Grave, and that's all the old gods, quote unquote.
Okay, yeah. So those are references to bosses in Torture Souls 1 then?
Direct references, yes.
I see, okay. Okay, let's talk more about the lore. So, okay, I am basically just gonna say words. If you wanna fill it in and make it more intelligible, please feel free. So
Okay.
you have so this is about the rapture. And well, I guess we'll start there. What exactly is the rapture?
Basically that's like the end of days according to like Catholicism and all that stuff.
I see. Okay.
Personally, I thought of it as more of a story, like a push for a story. Like you have this thing that's coming. You don't know exactly the details, but you have a driving force, and that's kind of what sets in the actions of Torture Souls 2, even though you never see the end of days, like that never comes up, but it was supposed to be like a motivating force.
I see. Okay. And you have these rings, and the rings just represent different areas of the hack, or what are the rings exactly?
That part was not fully fleshed out. So that was originally supposed to be like a special world that I didn't have room for.
I see. Okay.
So you would unlock the rings of hell by doing different side quests and different actions and stuff within the game. And that would unlock different levels after you beat the final boss. That didn't get pushed. That didn't get through.
I see.
So what I ended up doing was having basically a version of the final boss that doesn't have checkpoints. And even that broke because you can get to it without even unlocking all the rings of hell.
Oh.
So it ended up being just this pointless system that doesn't really exist. But it was a cool idea, and I'm glad I have it there for lore reasons, if nothing else now.
And you do like Torture Souls 2 does have some side quests, like or at least I could think of at least one major one. If there's some other ones, let me know. But I know there's one where you have to bring somebody ahead or something, and
Yeah.
I can't remember if you do that, you get double damage, or is that for the Eternal Flame?
You get double damage if you pick up the goat head, which is requires you to beat the Northern King. Bring me the head of the king of the north or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but that's the idea. And that also, I don't know if you saw this because some people never found it. In the back of the shop at the beginning of the game, if you bring that guy, if you go back there after defeating the Northern King, you unlock the new area of the shop.
What the hell is that?
And that's part of that.
I might have seen it. What's in the new area of the shop?
You have like a sword and this cultist looking guy, and a flower that is like sap. Kind of like Grease in Elden Ring, or the Dark Souls 3 pine leaves or pine resin.
Is that when he tells you to go kill the shopkeeper?
Yes, that is it. Yes.
Okay. So something interesting about that, I noticed that if you try to use the gun earlier in the game with the shopkeeper around, it doesn't affect him. But later on, I don't know if it's because when I was watching DRK, because he had bought the item and then the gun had an effect, or if the gun would have an effect on the shopkeeper regardless.
You have to talk to the cultist guy before the gun will interact with him at all.
I see. Okay. And also, yeah, remind me what the Eternal Flame is. I saw it, but I just can't remember what it does again in the game.
Yeah, that unlocks a level in the final submap called the Hellwalker, I believe. That is again another sort of lore related item. The Eternal Flame is kind of like this idea of outer power enforcing its will through things.
Okay.
Like a god, basically. That was the idea behind it.
And I think in multiple instances throughout Torture Souls 2, you refer to the player as, is it the mediocre?
Yes.
And using that term to describe the player, is that kind of like calling the player like tarnished in Elden Ring or like undead in Dark Souls?
Yes, very much so. But also it was the idea because you're in limbo. You're not in hell and you're not in well, at least not until late in the game. But you're not in hell and you're not in heaven, so you're in limbo. You're mediocre. You're not good or bad. You're mediocre.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Like in the middle, yeah. Okay, so there are a lot of mechanics I want to talk about. I won't name everything because it's a lot. But yeah, there's things that I saw that I really liked, and let's talk about it. So, first of all, and I'm not necessarily in any particular order, but there's this one level with these rotating like green spikes, and I just really love the visual of that. I just like how it looks. Like it actually looks like it's going into the background and coming back into the foreground when it's like swinging,
Okay, alright.
and I just think it looks really cool.
People really like that one. It's just animation. Like there's no fancy technology ASM going on there. It's just animation.
Mhm.
Which people didn't have asked me what that is, and it's just animation before. So I like that level a lot too. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, for sure.
This isn't a three-dimensional
Um,
game.
So I said earlier how I like the portals because it breaks my brain, and something else in Torch Souls 2 that I think would break my brain if I played it is there's this part, I think it's like a later part of the level where you're controlling two Luigis, um, one on the top and one on the bottom, and I believe you have to make sure both are avoiding obstacles. They're like, if one of them dies, then both of them die, basically.
Yes.
And then after you get past that part, it goes further. You're then controlling three Luigis going vertically. And yeah, I think that would really break my brain, and I can't wait to play that part.
Spin.
Do you want me to break the illusion, or do you want to keep the magic, I guess? Because there's two options here.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Just for like information purposes, yeah, break the illusion for me.
Just invisible blocks. There's a sprite and that looks like Luigi and does all his actions, basically serves as a mirror. Everything else is invisible blocks that have the effect of there being two players.
I see. I see.
Yeah, it's pretty simplistic when it comes down to it.
And relatedly, I think there's also a moment in the game where Mario is platforming and you're chasing after him. Is that the same level?
Oh, damn it.
That's a different level.
That's a different level, okay.
God, who was
That
do you have motor skills?
was markedly more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So again, similar situation. Luigi is the player and Mario is a sprite.
Messed up, or maybe they were playing it.
But all those paths are kind of hard coded in a way, so that
it's a super cool
things happen at certain times, but the sprite is just going through. That one was a nightmare to design. That was really a rough level to make.
Interesting. So, sorry. Can you say again? Why was it a nightmare to design?
Because basically, I had to make it so Mario looked like he was just a player, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that requires a lot of interactions that don't exist between sprites.
I see. Okay.
So a lot of that was very difficult at the time for me to make, let alone make into a functional level.
Right. Something I really appreciate about that is normally when you see these like shadow levels where like a copy of you is chasing after you, and this is the reverse of that. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, similar idea there.
Yeah,
Definitely a similar concept.
Although there is later, I'm assuming there's a different level. There's a level later where you have like, it's like 3 or 4 shadows chasing after you.
Yeah, that's a really that was one of the first levels I made. I think it's one of the best levels in the pack. I like that level a lot.
And yeah, sorry, I'm gonna jump around again, but
yep.
The overworld of Torch Souls 2 is very
north, south, east,
like
west,
epic and large. And
so
was that also just inspired by like the scale of like how big Elden Ring was as a map, or?
The overworld, huh?
Or do you just want
yes
to make
and no.
Okay.
Partly, I mean, Torch Souls 1 isn't small either. It's 33 exits.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's true. Yeah.
So I've always
Well,
had
the
an
first-
affinity towards scope creep, for lack of a better phrasing.
Mhm.
I tend to make things too big for their own good. And there's some Elden Ring. I'd say that's why I like Elden Ring, and not me being inspired by Elden Ring, but just part of why I enjoyed that game.
Mm-hmm. And this scope creep, is it intentional or is it just you like getting carried away?
Get carried away
Okay.
every time.
Um, okay, also, this part I'll need you to explain for me. Like, so there are these lost souls and there are rewards for the souls. What are the rewards for the souls exactly?
Um, so Lost Souls are the bosses,
Mm-hmm.
and the rewards are in Torture Souls 2 like currency. You get Yoshi coins when you
Oh, I
defeat,
see. Okay, yeah.
and that was kind of an idea I had to fix a problem because I won the shop, but I didn't have places to put Yoshi coins. I didn't have a good system for that already made.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, I could do what Dark Souls and Elden Ring and all those games did and give you currency or things to level up
Mm-hmm.
when you defeated a boss. And that ended up working okay.
Interesting.
Definitely confused people, but
Mm.
it worked fine for what I needed.
So, in Souls-like games, you can also lose your currency if you die. Is there a way to lose currency in Torture Souls 2 or no?
Um, no, technically.
Okay.
There is a respec system that is
Mm-hmm.
somewhat bugged,
Oh, okay.
and you can lose all your currency because of that. It's not a intentional thing though.
Okay. What caused that bug?
Basically, if you go to respec,
Mm-hmm.
which I have guess we haven't explained this already, but Torture Souls 2 has a stat system
Mm-hmm.
where you can get more health or more damage for bosses based on what you pick in certain levels. And if you try to change that, which is the respec system,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was a good concept,
Yeah.
if you spend all your gold, which is required to get the respec, and then exit the level,
Oh no.
you're just SOL, like you're just screwed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people did that, which I never thought would happen.
No. Yeah.
Um, but it did, and that was one of the more painful moments I've seen in playthroughs.
Yeah. It's funny. I was again. I was watching DRK's playthrough yesterday, and he goes to use the respec
Rather
system
takes
not
a
knowing
toll
what
on
it
the
is,
purity of your soul
even
Yep.
though like I'm pretty sure like you put it in text like what it does,
Imperfect rebirth at the cost of all
and
your
he
gold,
already
you
had
can
like full health,
reallocate
and he
your
used all of his
stats
gold
into
to
different
respec it
slots.
to full health.
What the hell
So
does that mean?
so he essentially used it for nothing.
What does this mean?
I'm not sure I saw
Oh,
that. That's funny.
Yes.
But that is a shame.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I totally forgot to to mention that you can get more
So I just
health
lost my
and
coins to do
more
nothing?
damage in this hack. You can choose one of those two things. Is that always after a level, after bosses? Like when do you get that choice to like choose one or the
Um,
other?
After you beat all the levels in a submap, a
Mm,
level is unlocked that's always referred to as a trial.
okay.
Trial of X was the naming system, like trial of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and after those, you do those trials, which are usually pretty significantly harder than the other levels. You get a choice of upgraded damage or upgraded health.
Okay, okay. And from your like in your opinion, is it better to go all health, or is it better to get like a balance of like health and damage?
I'm a
Or
bad person to ask on that. when I was doing testing,
Yeah.
I did all health,
Mm-hmm.
and it was fine. Like the boss was totally beatable that
Okay,
way.
yeah.
Well, the final boss,
Mhm.
I should say, because that's a massive difficulty spike in the
Mhm.
hack. People have kind of come to this perfect build that, like, the meta, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
where it's 4
They've
hearts
already
and the
got
rest
that
should be
here.
damage. You get up to 8 damage when you have the stats, and then you
That's insane.
get the head,
Yeah.
which is doubles your max damage. And I've seen pretty good success with that.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that is for the final boss, because if you get the final boss is a very large difficulty spike for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a specific reason for that. If you want me to get into that, or we can go into that later.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. So if your damage is 8, like you're literally doing 8 times the damage on the final boss then?
no, that is not. So damage scaling is kind of rough.
Okay.
It's not a multiplier. It's kind of like a Dark Souls stat, but it's not
Mm,
represented very well.
I see. Okay.
Because it says 8, but you're not doing 8 times the damage. You're
I see.
doing +5, +7, plus whatever.
I see.
Is
Okay.
how it actually works,
Mm-hmm.
and that I would change that nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But
Um. Also, so talking more about like abilities. But you can also get there's these, I think, like agility. I don't
yep,
remember what the exact power up's called, but you can get agility, which like I guess gives you
There's nothing
iframes to
here,
roll.
I can't talk to anybody.
it's a
Agility
more like a
allows you to
parry.
More like a
dodge
Is a
parry.
better way to
by
think of it. Like
Okay.
you,
well-timed L or R press.
within a
Don't
certain
know.
window
Okay.
of being hit,
Mm-hmm.
you can press L or R, and you won't get hit, and you'll get
Blood
iframes
blight.
for a very short amount
Bosses
of time.
inflicted
Interesting.
by
Okay.
blood blight. Sorry.
And then there's
Constantly losing
is it
health.
the blight bloom? Sorry, what's it called?
Blood blight.
Blood blight. There you go.
What
Okay.
was
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one?
That is much more practical.
Oh, is
It
it? Okay.
slowly drains a boss's health
Mhm.
over time.
Uh,
It's like a poison type deal.
Is it
So
pretty
can I have
difficult
both?
to
what
parry
is
in
up
Torture Souls
to?
2,
Why
or is
do
it
I
just
have ag?
It's stupid difficult.
I don't
Okay.
want to do this.
It's really not
Oh, there's
a
meant
good
to be
system.
Okay, there's meant to be a toad there. Okay.
I think you have like 4 frames,
I see.
which is pretty
I've seen
obscene,
Yeah.
sometimes.
especially given some of the
Are
attacks
these
that you will come
normal? Is this
across.
okay?
And it also only works on projectiles. It does not work on anything that's not projectile. So there's another level of not useful. And that I would change that as well
Mhm.
if I was going back and make the window bigger.
Mhm. Like, so yeah, if you make physical contact with an enemy body, then that's not gonna do anything for you.
No,
Yeah.
it has to be a projectile thrown by
Yeah.
the boss.
Okay. Let's see, and then, oh, so something else I think that's really cool about Torture Souls 2 is now there's some areas you can't, or some levels you can't play until you get certain abilities. So there's a level where you need to use the gun. Not for what I initially thought you needed it for, which I thought would be to shoot the chucks, but it's actually just to give you a boost past the chucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, still very cool. And then I think you have a. I'm not sure if this level is like Celeste inspired, but you have a level where you climb up, and I think it even has. I think one of the levels even has like
Wait, did I
Celeste
just
music,
climb the
right?
edge of the screen?
Yep, that was
Oh, the
Celeste
edge of the
inspired.
screen is
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Alright,
So
you know
to
what?
get into that level, you need. Most people think,
Probably
I
can't
guess,
go up
that you need boots,
It's worth
Mhm.
checking.
but there's
It's not
actually a
one of those
global
hard
timer
times.
on the overworld. So if you pay attention to some of the levels on that submap,
What is this?
you have the
Countdown.
snow fading in and out,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's like a timer.
Yeah.
And I have not seen a
So
single
wall
person
jumps.
recognize that, which I'm not surprised because it's not well indicated. But that's a timer to be like,
Fast
oh, the
climb.
storm has cleared. You can climb in this level and move forward.
Oh, okay. Wait. So if the snow is cleared, you don't need the boots.
Don't need them at all.
Holy
They're
crap!
completely superfluous.
Okay, I never would have guessed that. That's interesting.
Yep.
Also, this hack has no cape turnaround, right?
Turn around during cape
Yes.
flight is.
Yes.
Why did you decide to do that?
So you just got to do it, right?
So the honest answer is
Oh, you
because
can't
I
press
play
it.
on keyboard and I really
Like,
do not
the
like.
X button doesn't even
So
work.
I
It's
have
not that
trigger
it's
finger
vanilla, it's just
on
totally,
my
like,
pinky
turned
and
off.
leftmost left
Oh,
hand,
Mm-hmm.
leftmost finger on my left hand, other than my pinky.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And that with my keyboard is really hard for me to press X and Y in like taps. I can hold down very easily.
Mm-hmm.
But that makes turnaround kind of annoying and that's sometimes kind of painful for me.
Mm-hmm.
So but I do enjoy cape. And even though I'm not terribly good at it, I do enjoy the mechanic.
Yeah.
So that was a way to make challenging cape that couldn't be cheesed with the situation I was in.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Um, and okay, so again, this is not meant to be like anything personal or anything, but
Yep.
I hate disco shells, and
But I
you
want
have a
the
level that is
iron.
just everything is a disco. Well, it has a disco shell movement.
Alright,
So,
why are they
Yeah. I
um,
I think you'd be surprised by that level. I think that's
as well?
most people, even if they hate disco shells, they enjoy that
Yeah.
level just because it's silly and fun.
oh yeah, yeah, it's definitely
Oh,
silly. I do enjoy that aspect of it. I do enjoy that it exists just to be like, hey, what if we had a level that was nothing but disco movement?
Yeah, yeah. It's
YOLO.
not. Yeah, that's just a silly fun level.
Yeah. Speaking of speaking of silly fun levels, I saw DRK do this level where I think this is the Hall of Memes level
Yep.
where it just as soon as you enter, all you hear is DK DK.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
And
Um,
oh sorry, go ahead.
there. So originally,
Like, do a mid-air
there's
with
a
this
clip. One of the rooms
It's
has
actually
Barb in
really
it
easy.
as a
Mm,
shout out.
mhm.
That was just my take on a shout out room because they didn't want to have shout out rooms in the normal levels. And one of the rooms was Barb,
Thank you for being
and there's a clip
such
of
an
him
inspiration
at the
and for
end
the
of
amazing
Tortured
content.
Souls
Congrats
1
on the
pretending to
twins.
be
Be
Mario, and I
impressed.
had that soundbite ported into SMW, and I
Mhm.
ran out of room, and I hate
Ah,
that
that sucks.
because it was.
Spike right.
I would
Nobody
find the
can
clip if you
save
want to
you
use it for
from
your
me!
video, but it's very, very
Yo!
good.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
very
that'd be
funny.
awesome. And also, it's funny because also I was watching this on 2 times speed. So also just remember think of DK, but then think of it just 2 times fast. And that's what I was
Yep.
hearing.
Oh,
um,
that'd be awful.
yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty funny level. Um, and okay, so sorry, I'm jumping around again, but I wanted to ask you about the Yoshi currency. So, how much is each Yoshi coin worth?
Just one.
Oh, just
Just
one.
one Yoshi coin.
Okay. Oh, and then okay, so you have the option for like a normal versus hard mode, and is that basically just like Peachy mode where like you just don't have any checkpoints, or like what? How do those two modes differ
Yeah.
exactly?
That was actually made because I had seen a few hacks that did the no checkpoint thing, and I wanted to do something kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
That's level edits. So like, there's multiple levels. Well, not multiple. Pretty much every level that isn't on this final submap has a variation that's either tighter or
Okay, all right.
some of the levels have like ice physics added.
Hmm.
Just little edits that aren't removing the midway that I thought it'd be cool. It wasn't worth my time. And then but I thought it was a neat idea and kind of a different way to look at difficulty.
Right. I do like that as opposed to just not having a checkpoint. Because I mean that means you also took time to think about like how can I add difficulty to this level. So yeah, I think that's really cool. Oh, something else that was tripping me out about one of your levels is there's this one level where if you die a certain number of times, it just starts adding spikes to the level.
There's an
Yep.
eerie feeling here, almost like
Um,
something is observing your every move.
Um,
Something strangely
If you don't one-shot that level is crap. That
Oh.
level is so hard if you don't
Mhm.
one-shot it.
I said strange
Because you get it's like
inhuman.
death loop.
Yeah, alright.
Well, it's made for death loops
Yeah,
because
yeah.
What a weird
you already get into the
feeling.
level and it's hard,
Oh, it just
Mhm.
scrolls.
and then
That's
you
why it lagged.
die and it gets harder and harder and harder.
So,
The idea behind that.
mhm.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
So I don't wanna kill
really quick. I just want to say
Okay.
really quick. What that reminded me of was it reminded me of some mechanics from, I don't know if this is where you got the idea or if it's just something you thought of, but it reminded me of like Dark Souls 1 and something from Dark Souls 2. In Dark Souls 1, if you get killed by the basilisk and you keep getting killed by it, like via like the status effect, and you keep getting your health halved. And then in DS2,
Okay, well,
if you keep dying, you just keep
let's
losing
go
more
ahead
health,
for the
and
bottom one.
this mechanic kind of
Have you
reminded
seen
me of
this and
that.
I'm gonna hate it. Nah.
So that was not inspired by
Sure
that.
I
Okay.
will.
But that
Yeah.
is funny that it kind of happened with such heavy Dark Souls inspiration. That was so in that level, instead of an orb, you get a computer.
Dude,
Mhm.
just
And
wanna see
I
what
was
he's
kind
done
of
for
like
you.
thinking of
Thanks for
AI,
Geo.
which in the context we have now is but AI sort of changing the level, learning
Mm-hmm.
type. Basically, the idea was that the level is changing by learning from your deaths, and that was kind of the idea behind it.
Gotcha.
Eat
Okay.
shell.
Let's see. Oh, so I felt like I saw a lot of things that carried over from Torture Souls 1, and uh I guess I just want to confirm if these also if you think these carried over from Torture Souls 1. But so in Torture Souls 1, you had this level where when you jump, it's
you know what?
toggling on and off
I
these
have that
death
video.
blocks.
I can show
Um,
you clips from
And
that.
I feel like
But I'd make it a community challenge. and I'd
something
have to ask
similar
Nick if he's okay
happens
with
in
that.
Torture Souls 2, but instead you're toggling like spikes on and off, or you've got like a rope where when you jump on it, whenever you jump on it, it toggles these switch blocks on and off. Was that a carryover, or was that like something that you thought of separately?
That was a carryover, I'd say.
Mhm.
The first one definitely was inspired by that. It was kind of brought along. The rope was kind of its own thing,
Okay.
in my opinion, but I definitely see the similarities now that you mention it. Yeah, there were definitely like aspects I was like, I want to build more on this. From Tortured Souls 1 that went into Tortured Souls 2, or not even build more, but just what else can I do with this vague idea?
And then yeah, I think obviously some version of the portals carried over with the fireball portals.
Yep.
And then again, maybe I'm reading into it, but so the constantly moving forward Yoshi level in Torture Souls 1, you have a level in Torture Souls 2 where you're just constantly jumping, and that seemed related to me.
So yes, that was originally I had that idea for a Yoshi, and I ended up just making it a Mario or Luigi physics system. But that was something I kind of wanted to do in that first Yoshi level, and then saw Grand Poo World 3 do something similar to that. And I was like, I'm gonna try to lean a bit away from that.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna talk more about the bosses. Okay, so one of the bosses that I thought was really cool. You have, well, the boss is like a literal beating heart. Is it someone's heart in particular, or like?
No, there wasn't. I just thought it looked cool for that one. Thought it was a good way to end a rhythm-based level is with a
Right.
beating heart.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I can't remember. Did Torture Souls 2 had boss health bars? But Torture Souls 1 did not, right?
Torture Souls 1 did not.
Okay.
That is correct.
Yeah, I thought that was cool because I don't think I've ever
So I'm ready to
seen.
hear.
Well, okay. I think there's only one hack I think of that I think has a health bar for their boss, and which hack has the fruit dealer in it?
Bounces off walls too. Alright.
That would be Cooler Cruel by World Peace.
Okay. Yeah, I think the fruit dealer has a health bar. I'm not sure if the other bosses do, but definitely that one does. And yeah, I think this is the only other hack that I've seen a boss have a health bar. And honestly, I like having a visual of like how close you are to killing the boss.
I do as well. I really think that's a nice thing to have. Because otherwise you're
Oops.
like, I've seen people just kind of guess based on Nintendo numbers. Like, oh, you have 3 hits. Oh no, it's 6 hits.
Right.
It's 9 hits.
Yeah.
It's 10 hits. Like,
Shut
go down the list of
down.
what could it possibly
Like
be.
it.
And I think health bars kind of make people lean away from that as their first assumption, because they're thinking, oh, I can see where it's going down, and they don't think of the health as in numbers anymore.
Right.
Which I really think was a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Okay. So you have this this dual
What's the point
Reznor
of
fight.
stuff?
They're shooting fireballs at you like very rapidly.
Oh, there's 3 of them down there. Alright.
And for me, what I'm personally used to as far as a Reznor fight is as you kill the Reznors, the fight
should
actually
focus on
will
one
get
and
easier.
individual
But
health bars.
that's actually not the case in this fight, because you have rising lava,
Alright.
you have
Tank
those
hits.
green rotating
Yeah, it's
spikes. You actually add more to the fight to make it more difficult. But I do like that though. I think it's interesting. Interesting way to do a Reznor fight.
Thank you. That was definitely something I've always appreciated in boss fights, especially, is when the environment plays just as much of a role as the boss does. And I think that's something I really tried to emulate in Torture Souls 2.
Right, yeah. Oh, okay. You have another very cool Reznor fight in that what I'm used to is that typically Reznor fights are very static, very repetitive as far as the platforming. Like maybe like I think maybe at most you'll have like a saw, or you'll have like a platform sliding back and forth. But in this case, for this fight, you're actually platforming upwards. Like you're attacking for a bit, but then it's the level is scrolling up. You have to keep up with it while you're still attacking that Reznor. And I thought that boss fight was really cool, just because of the active platforming while fighting it.
From the layer 2 falling.
I agree with you that a lot of Reznor fights tend to be static, and that is definitely something I worked pretty hard to avoid. That fight is interesting to me because in hard mode, when the level is moving in normal mode, the Reznor does not fire. In normal mode, once the level starts moving, he's not going to shoot fireballs at you, and that feels good usually. So in hard mode, I threw that away and decided, okay, when the level's moving,
It
screw
wasn't as
you.
if
He's
his
just
health
going to
goes
keep
down
on
over
firing.
time. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, that would be kind of
I
ridiculous
forgot
for
that.
sure.
Yeah, it was a bit much.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, I tried to play with stuff like that in
Yeah.
Tortured Souls 2 a bit more.
And then the last boss, not the final boss of the game, but the last boss I want to talk about. Actually, no, wait, sorry, I didn't talk about the last boss either, so we'll talk about that too. But you have this this hammer bro sitting on the bottom of this like screen, and it's kind of like, it feels like a bullet hell boss sort of. And I was actually wondering like if that is inspired by Fruit Dealer at all, or is it just kind of like its own thing?
Oh, it's an absolute homage to it.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
totally. It's not even inspired. It's partially like, well, I guess inspired, but it's very heavy-handed. So that level is actually called Universal Chaos, which the person who made Fruit Dealer is named World Peace. So that was like a subtle sort of
Okay.
nod
Yeah.
to that.
To the blue ones hurt me.
And then I don't even remember what the boss is called at this point. I just call him Eyeball Dealer instead of Fruit Dealer.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that's not his name, but that's what everyone refers to him as.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah. Like actually, again, when I was watching DRK fight that boss, someone literally in chat called it the eyeball dealer.
Yep. It's very much like, I thought this thing was cool. I want to try my own take on it.
And so, the final boss for Torture Souls 2 is Mario, basically, right?
Yeah.
And this is like
the-
Mario as the ruler of hell.
one of these?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And I notice, like, so after you deplete a health
It's one of
bar,
these
he
things.
refills and it says like a different sin.
Oh, you got shells.
so-
Okay, I see.
Is the number of health bars equal to how many sins there are?
Sorry, those the scratchies.
That
How
plus
many
one,
fireballs?
because there is a final phase
The God
where
Killer or something.
3, 4, 5.
Mario the God Killer.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
that's
Really
like,
high counts on that.
you're going.
Oops.
So
It's
something I
gonna be
always
sideways
kind of thought would be cool,
Mm-hmm.
and I like mirroring in games and in hacks and
Mhm.
thematically. And in Tortured Souls 1, you have the castles as the big checks, where you have lust and greed are the castles. And I wanted to mirror that because I hadn't talked about it too much in Tortured Souls 2. Instead of it being castles, I gave Mario the phases of where Mario had actually gone through all these changes. And big key moments in not just Tortured Souls 1, but in Mario's journey through Tortured Souls 1. And then you have God Killer, which is like the end of Tortured Souls 1, right? He kills Lucifer. He kills a
Right.
god.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that was, I don't know. I like thematic things like that, where
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
not just the end of, it's the end of Tortured Souls 1 and the end of Tortured Souls 2 in a way. Because
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
you have Luigi kill all the things that Mario did in a way. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That is kind of cool when you explain it like that. And something I was wondering just now is when Mario goes through another phase, does he get different attacks each phase?
Yes, he does.
He does. Okay.
Well, mostly. At some point, I ran out of ideas. That was around, and I wanted the final phase to obviously be like a big game changer, so I had to keep stuff for that.
Right.
Otherwise, the final phase is just superfluous. Like if you're doing the same stuff in the final phase, what are you doing? Why does it exist?
Right. Right. Yeah. That's fair.
So, phase 1 had changes, phase 2 had changes, phase 3, phase 4, and I think at phase 5 out of 7, and then the 8th final phase is where there stops being changes, I believe. I know the last attack is like he gets like a grab, and that's the last one that changes.
I remember seeing some like small exploding homing Marios or something.
Those are in the final phase.
Final phase. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one last thing I'm curious about with this final boss is it possible to do that hitless? Because it just looks like a lot of stuff.
That is the only boss in the fight I have not done hitless. I guarantee it's possible.
Oh, it is possible? Okay.
I am sure it is. I haven't done it. I'm sure it'd be really hard.
Right.
It's something I've been trying to do off and on. Is not, well, technically not hitless, but I've been trying to do it without stats. So like no damage, no upgrades,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
And that has proven pretty difficult.
Yeah,
I
for
do
sure.
think it's possible, though. I do think it's possible. It just would require good RNG and good skill, but I do believe it's possible.
Would parrying help with that, or is it just a matter of just dodging at the
No,
right time?
I think it's just dodging. I think parrying is kind of a. There's no reason for it to exist in the game.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. There is one more thing I want to talk to you about.
Yep.
And it's Torture Souls 3. Now, I have to admit that because I haven't seen a playthrough of it, I don't know too much about it. So I guess I just want to ask you, what did you do differently with Torture Souls 3? Oh, if you want to talk about it versus Torture
Yeah.
Souls 2.
Uh. So I don't want to spoil too much, but I will
Mhm.
say it's very different from the previous games. It's a quite a bit harder.
Mhm.
Not I do think anyone that beat Tortured Souls 2 entirely could beat
Mhm.
it. I don't know that anyone that beat Tortured Souls 1 could beat it.
I
And that's
see.
kind of
Mhm.
the differentiation between them.
Um.
The other thing
Mhm.
is that it's more of a Metroidvania.
Ah, okay,
So
that's
instead of
cool.
having an overworld, it was inspired by a hack called Mycelium by
Yeah.
Schema Tuna.
Mhm.
Great hack,
Mhm.
great hack. Um, where instead of having an overworld, it's all one big level,
Mhm.
like Metroid or Castlevania or Hollow Knight, what have you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that was something I really wanted to play with once I saw it.
Right. Yeah.
Stellar idea, and I have really enjoyed working with that concept and expanding on it, hopefully.
Mhm.
And I think it fits the series pretty well. I think it feels it lives up to the Dark Souls inspiration more than it ever has at this point, I feel like.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would argue that Dark Souls is very much like a Metroidvania anyway. So, as far as um, like unlocking new paths, there aren't really like abilities you need
Abilities,
necessarily.
that's the only difference, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a pretty substantial difference. That's
Hmm.
kind of key to
Sure.
Metroidvanias, but
Yeah, yeah.
there's definitely overlap.
Hmm.
I don't think there's it does kind of irk me when people now hell now I'm saying it, but it does irk me when people are like, "Oh, my 2D Souls like." I'm like,
Uh,
no.
yeah, I get that. Um,
Um, but yeah, it should be fun. I hope people have fun with it. That's really all you can wish for is that people
yeah, for
don't
sure.
hate the thing you made.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and some
Um,
people won't jive with it, but
but yeah, hopefully most people will enjoy it. Yeah. Um, okay. I thought I had more questions, but I can't remember all my other questions I want to ask. But I think we talked about a lot though. Um, and yeah, I think everyone who hasn't. Oh, okay. Wait, I do remember what I wanted to ask. Okay, okay. So for anyone who hasn't played Torture Souls 1 or 2, uh, what hacks would you recommend they play before you think they would be ready to like start playing like Torture Souls 1, for example?
if you haven't played any hacks, you got a ways to go, I'd say.
Hmm.
Um, I would personally recommend Akogari and Invictus at the very least
Okay.
before you play Torture Souls 1
Hmm.
and go through a couple expert hacks before you go to Torture Souls 2.
Mm.
It's doable as a first expert hack. It's not going to be the best time for you, though.
Okay, that's fair.
That'd be my recommendation, but I didn't even follow my recommendation. So,
Mhm. But yeah, so everyone who's watching, who's listening, I highly recommend if you feel ready for it, go play Torture Souls 1, play Torture Souls 2. They're very expansive and unique hacks, and I was enjoying it until my emulator was giving me shit. But I'm definitely gonna go back to it, so I'd highly recommend you do too. And I'll also provide some links for Torture Souls 1, 2, and 3 in the description. And do you also, I never asked you, do you stream on Twitch or no?
Not really, no.
No, okay.
I've done it a few times, but not. Nah.
Okay. Well, yeah, at least, if you're curious, if you found this interview interesting, then go check out RZ's hacks. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, thank you so much for. I know this was kind of a longish interview, but thank you for sitting down with me and giving us all perspective on all the thoughts that you put into all of your hacks. And I hope you had a good time talking about it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Sorry for rambling so much.
No. We appreciate it for sure.